Hey guys, welcome to Browntable Entertainment. I am your host, no name, and so we're going to be talking about Batman v Superman in a very spoilery way. And I'm going to be doing this with my good friend, Sam C's.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm doing the spoiler review of my boxers, but you guys will never know that because cropping. What's up guys, I'm Sam Robinson from the channel Sam C's, and I just want to thank Browntable so much for allowing me to be on their channel in this video to talk about this movie that we've been waiting for so long.
Yeah, so this is my first collab. Never done this before. I've also never done a spoiler talk before, so that's pretty interesting, so let's get down to it.
Let's get into it.
I also have my little notepad with all the notes I took down for this movie. A lot of notes. It's right here. So basically the movie starts off with Batman's parents dying. I love this scene. I really loved it. It was fantastic. The imagery was great. The music, Beautiful Lie, I think, by Hans Zimmer. Fantastic. I actually like how the introduction to the movie actually has the little titles. You know, like, there's a Warner Brothers production, and it's like, starring Ben Affleck. Henry Cavill. It's great. I love that. I miss that. Then we have the actual introduction, which is Metropolis being destroyed. And it's this fantastic scene of just chasing, and Ben Affleck's like, oh shit, all this shit is falling down. It's fantastic. The effects in this movie are groundbreaking here. There's a ship that crashes through the city, great. But and then you get to the point where Batman has to run into the smoke, and then he sees this building, and it's like, oh my god, it's all destroyed. Wayne Tower, this Wayne building. It's not Wayne Tower, but like this Wayne Enterprises building is just destroyed, and then he sees this guy, which is going to be important later on. I can't even remember his name because he was such a useless character, but he ended up being so important. This guy loses his legs. And people at first were saying that it was Jimmy Olsen. Then people are saying he's the Flash. Because he had like green legs to cover his, he's amputated. He's an amputee. So I was like, okay, well, no. He actually ended up being this other guy. But people were saying he's like this super, super huge fan of Superman. And he loves this guy, and he doesn't blame Superman for losing his legs. And in the movie, it's actually the exact opposite of that. So I don't know if they intentionally gave false information on the movie to surprise us, because that actually surprised me. I was like, oh, this guy's supposed to hate Superman. That was out of nowhere. And it was great. I liked his hatred towards Superman. It felt real. His hatred towards Batman, Bruce Wayne, it just didn't feel right to me. It didn't make any sense, actually. He was like, you let your family die. And it's like, what do you expect? Batman, Bruce Wayne, he actually went out and he freaking took the huge building chunk out of your legs to get you out of there. It doesn't make any sense why he hates Bruce Wayne. We also get introduced to Jesse Eisenberg, right? And Jesse Eisenberg is just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I like his performance, but as Lex Luthor, oh god, no. But as Jesse Eisenberg, yes, very good performance.
Lex Luthor, I liked Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of Lex Luthor for the fact that I believe he was casted to play this character. They weren't expecting Jesse Eisenberg to come in and play the calm, cool Lex Luthor that we expected. So, I didn't like Jesse Eisenberg for the simple fact that he wasn't the Lex Luthor I wanted. But I like Jesse Eisenberg because he played the Lex Luthor that he was asked to, and he did that in a very good way.
He was really menacing, actually. At points he was like really goofball, kind of stupid, but at some points he was like really, really menacing. It was this creepy kind of thing. He actually played it well. I actually like that. Jesse Eisenberg is a very, very strong actor. Fantastic actor. As Lex Luthor, no, but as just an actor, yes.
Every scene that Lex Luthor had with Holly Hunter about politics and like taking out Superman and defending the world and the country against people like Superman was really intriguing. You've seen what Lex Luthor's seen, and it gave a good perspective on his character and where he was going. And he was absolutely terrifying to me, like, as a person. If I seen this guy walk up to me and he was just, the red capes are coming.
Granny's peach tea.
The red capes are coming.
It's cherry. Here you go.
It was just a really good scene. He played his character that he was supposed to play well.
Speaking of Lex Luthor, I love how Batman actually went to prison and he actually confronted Luthor. He confronted him. I was like, oh shit, because it just got dark, and then boom, Batman. You see the silhouette, and it looks exactly like Batman, so you're like, oh, shit's gonna go down, and then Lex Luthor has the bald head, and then he's gonna brand Luthor. But I think this actually shows growth, because he actually doesn't brand him. I mean, like, I would have branded him. The Senate bombing was fantastic. I liked how the entire beginning of the movie ended up being like a political thriller type thing, but then like when it got to the bombing, right after that, it just went completely downhill. But I loved the Senate thing. The whole scene with Granny's peach tea was freaking amazing. I love that because it was just so unsettling and uncomfortable. You're like, oh shit, is that like, was she drinking piss? I don't know, but like it looked like it. Creepy. And then when it blows up, it was so loud and out of nowhere, dude. Everyone in the audience was like, what just happened? It was hilarious because it's so unexpected. It's so unexpected.
All right, Batman. Okay. I loved him in the movie, don't get me wrong. I loved this interpretation of Batman. Ben Affleck killed it. For being the, most hated on thing in this entire movie, he turned out to be probably the best thing in the entire movie. The major issue here is not the portrayal of Batman, the motivation of Batman to kill Superman and take him out, but it's the fact that Batman kills everyone.
That's not his character, because the struggle between, oh man, should I kill or should I not kill? Should I break this line and never go back? Is gone. You can't have that struggle anymore. And it's just, why? Because it's such an important part of the character's mythos. It's like, a lot of the characters, most superheroes don't kill, but this one just does for, I don't know, because he gets off on it? He also gets off on torturing people for some reason. It's ridiculous, and I don't understand that.
For any true fan can quite possibly ruin the entire film and everything to come if they don't fix this in the single standalone movies with Batman, because Batman's character is always on that freaking balancing beam of almost going insane, of almost killing somebody. It's people like Joker and Ra's al Ghul, these enemies that are Batman's they're the worst of the worst, that kill people, that make Batman question if he should kill them.
I think the biggest problem for me is just the confrontations that Batman is going to have with the Joker. I mean, Joker's always pushing him to kill him. And Batman's like, okay, maybe I will. And he just kills people. Why? It should be addressed. Why is it not addressed? Does Zack Snyder seriously think that Batman, whatever he was doing in that movie, that didn't kill people? Because that killed people.
Right now, I'm really against Batman killing people. It really does take me out of the movie sometimes because I'm such a fan of the character and his moral code. So to take that away just hurts. I will freaking flip out if he continues to kill people through every single standalone movie.
But he actually knocks out a car, then hooks it, and then uses it at a battering ram. It uses it as this battering ram. Who thinks like that? Those people in there are dead. The car is the car is what? It's completely ridiculous. And then he, and then he goes and he's driving, right? And then he bursts through a building and then he crashes a truck with people inside it. It's like, Batman, you just killed 3 people. There's a point where he actually goes and shoots, I think he shoots some guy has a gas tank because he has a flamethrower. He shoots the guy's gas tank. He gets Martha Kent out of the building. This is at the end, right? The warehouse thing. And then it blows up. And you're like, holy shit, Batman. You just blew a building. Okay. And then Batman actually, he gets a grenade or something. And then he throws it at a guy. And then the guy's like, oh shit, a grenade. And then he tries to grab it. And then he freaking blows up in this beautiful explosion, and it's amazing, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, that is not Batman.
Batman's perspective is awesome. You're watching it, and you're like, yep, I totally get you, Batman. I understand your perspective. We need to kill Superman. That guy sucks. Which really sucks for Superman, because he doesn't really have a reason for really wanting to take down Batman, except for the fact that this guy's a vigilante and he's branding people. But they don't address the fact that Batman's killing people in the movie, and that would be a perfect reason to address Batman from Superman's perspective, is the fact that he's killing everybody, so he needs to stop him. So the Superman and Batman actual fight, I actually really enjoyed it. When I was watching the film, it didn't have much anticipation leading up to the fight, but the fight itself, the way it was handled, the way it was choreographed, I felt like I was watching this actual fight that would happen between these two characters. Reason being is because Superman has only been around for about 18 months. So when he goes into this fight, you can watch him and see that he is unseasoned. He doesn't know how to deal with certain things. He's not that smart, really. But Batman, this guy has 20 years experience, and that shines throughout the fight. You can tell that he planned. You can tell that he prepared. This guy has fought people from the Joker all the way over to Killer Croc over the last 20 years in Gotham, so you can see within the fight who is more experienced.
Batman in the armor is badass, right? He is so slow. I'm not even kidding. He's the slowest thing ever. But it's a really badass fight. I love the fight when he fights Superman, when he starts punching his face, and then the face just stops moving, and then he just he just starts breaking his hand. It's fantastic. I was like, shit, because Superman's getting his power again because the kryptonite gas is wearing off. Fantastic scene. I love that. I hated how he didn't say that line, the famous line.
I wanted to remind you to stay out of my way. In all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
I hated how he didn't say that. And so basically the Superman-Batman fight, again, I didn't really think it was all that great. I thought it was very anticlimactic. It was slow. I liked how Batman beat the shit out of Superman, but it just felt super, super short. Did anyone else feel this way, or was it just me? Because I felt like this entire, 90 minutes passed, and then the fight finally came on, and it was, excessively short. It felt like 4 minutes. I was like, that's it?
So the reason it worked for me was because I really seen this fight playing out this way. I didn't see it as being this really fast-moving fight, but almost like an articulate fight that Batman is being smart about every single move he's making. And he does it well. I mean, he basically almost kills Superman in the end, but then he doesn't. Alright, so Wonder Woman in the film, I actually loved her character. I didn't think Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, however you say her name, was really going to be able to pull this girl off. I wanted more of a masculine-looking Wonder Woman, but we didn't get that. We got Gal Gadot, who was 100 pounds maybe. But then you see her in the Wonder Woman costume, and everything she did within the fight with Doomsday was amazing.
So Wonder Woman, right? In the final fight, Wonder Woman was great. I do love Wonder Woman. I thought Gal Gadot did a fantastic job as her with what she had. She was this mysterious character. She handled herself really well. She projected really well onto the screen. It was great. The whole thing about bringing the Justice League together was completely insane, just really dumb. But everything other than that was, I thought, really well done.
For a movie called Batman v Superman, the DC Universe was the main focus of the entire movie. They did not focus on the movie they were in. This isn't what makes you want more sequels in a movie. What makes you want more sequels in a movie is Easter eggs within a movie, little here and there hints, not all out blowing your load all over the screen for the first movie to come out that's really going to set up the DC Universe. What sets up a good DC Universe is giving us what we want in the movie we're seeing and leaving things that make us want to go back and watch that movie again.
Now the universe, the DC Universe, I thought it was set up brilliantly. Not. So the DC Universe, they really tried to cram all this crap in, and it didn't work. It really just did not work. It felt kind of choppy and just edited, rushed in there, awful. I mean, Thor in the Avengers Age of Ultron, Thor had this scene where he sees the Vision, he sees Ragnarok, and it was really just bad because it felt out of place. But at least they tried to fit it in somehow. In this movie, no. They're just email, done.
The Flash getting caught within a liquor store? Really?
Doomsday, on the other hand, I thought was not as good. Because what happens here is that I didn't like him. He looked like a giant Ninja Turtle at the beginning. Afterwards, he started growing the bones. But it really wasn't enough for me. I really wanted more bones. But whatever. I think the biggest problem was that the fight, it just didn't feel like an actual fight. It felt like this just mess of just explosions. Doomsday kept exploding and destroying the city. And I was just you know how many people just died right now? A lot of people probably just died because of that explosion. And Batman was part of this. Will Batman be Batman needs to be put down? Is he going to say that to himself? No, he's not. He was okay, we got to make a Justice League. Because, let's blow up more shit. It was insane. It really didn't make any sense.
Doomsday and the Doomsday fight. The coming of Doomsday was super ridiculous. Shoot in, and I hated it from the get-go because the fact is that Doomsday is a huge character in the comics that kills Superman, and it's this big thing. And to shoo him in for the last 20 minutes of the movie is a really crappy thing to do.
Doomsday was this huge monster, and he was huge. I really liked that. He was big, he was menacing. The thing was that I really liked how Batman looked during that fight because he was kind of this weak being compared to Doomsday, and he was oh man, I gotta run away, and he actually grapples away from Doomsday's blast, and he jumps away, and it's this really kind of tense thing because Doomsday is this huge monster, and Batman's this meek human being. And Batman just looking at the Doomsday fight, he just feels powerless. He really is powerless. He can't really do anything.
The Batman perspective that happened within the fight while Doomsday is fighting Superman and Wonder Woman, you just see Batman staring in the distance. He seemed like a guy that was severely out of place, but I liked that because Batman's just a man, and it reminded us that, yeah, he can take on that guy. Maybe he could take on Superman with some preparation of about 18 months, but when it comes to facing Doomsday right off the bat, he's no, I'm not stupid enough to try to run out there right now. Fight itself, I didn't think was bad. Visually, it was great, but it was pretty stupid, some of the decisions that were made within the fight. Batman realizes he needs to go back and get the kryptonite, but instead of, like, flying around Doomsday, he flies right over him so Doomsday can see where he's going and jump at him and knock down his entire plane. And it's just kind of like, why didn't you just fly around the island? Like, why did you need to go directly over the island where he was standing? You know this guy just fell from space after getting taken out by a freaking nuke, but you want to fly right over him?
Batman actually goes and says, I need to get the kryptonite spear from from Gotham. From Gotham, because that is the only way we can kill Doomsday. And Doomsday right now is in Stryker's Island, which is unpopulated. And he says, I'm going to go get that spear, alright? I'm going to lead Doomsday towards Gotham. Why? Why, Batman? It's like, you're endangering millions of people. Are you insane? Yes, you probably are. Because you get off on freaking branding people with your bat branding thing. Another problem I had with Doomsday was that he had this energy projecting power, which was not from the comics, and it made no sense. Why? It was just like for more destruction.
Hello, sorry to interrupt, but we've actually got Ben fucking Affleck on the line here. We're gonna ask him a few questions about the movie now. So, Ben, how do you feel about the movie? Okay, well, what do you think about the fact that Batman actually kills people in this movie, even though that's completely against his character? It seems like you don't know how to respond, mate, so I'll just ask you one final question. Do you agree that the Lois Lane bath scene was the best part of the movie?
I agree.
Excellent. Alright then, Ben, thank you very much for participating in this interview. Hello everyone, this is Jeffrey from Jeffrey Talks. If you like this, remember I have my own segment on this channel. Please. Love me.
Amy Adams, right from the get-go, right from the beginning, the whole Africa thing, I did not understand it. Honestly, for storytelling-wise, did it really need the scene? It did not. It wasn't even that good of a scene. I think what the worst part was that photographer that got shot right at the beginning was Jimmy Olsen. That was Jimmy Olsen. He was actually like the CIA agent who was outed, and then they shoot him because they discovered that there's like a tracker or something. It's ridiculous. That was Jimmy Olsen. They killed off Jimmy Olsen. It's not stated that in the movie he's Jimmy Olsen, but it's going to be stated in the director's cut. Things that Zack Snyder, he's saying like, I actually care about these characters. You don't. What did you do with Lex Luthor? He's not Lex Luthor. Batman is killing. What the hell? Superman is so dark and depressing. Why?
Amy Adams, you did great. You were awesome in this film. Don't get me wrong, you were a great actress. But the screenwriting for your character, why were you there half of the film? Seriously, yes, you find the bullet and you find out it's Lex Luthor that's planning all these things and setting up all these freaking ambushes and all that other crap. But the point of you being there towards the end, just for Superman and to like throw the spear into water to basically mess everybody else up, because yeah, you wanted to get away from Superman, but because of this, you almost got yourself killed, and then Superman had to save you, and then because of that, now Superman saves you, and then you see him kill himself. Like, were you just trying to create like emotion that didn't need to be there? Because it would have been way better if she was off in the distance watching on a TV and feeling this emotion, feeling like she couldn't do anything. In this moment, you feel like she can do everything. You don't want to feel like that towards Lois Lane. Lois Lane should feel like she can't do anything. She should feel like she's going to lose Superman. She should be scared for him. But instead, we see her in the moment doing everything with Superman, and by the time he's just like, I love you. I have to do this. I just feel like the movie could have been a lot better and a lot more fluent if they wouldn't have added so much and made a focus on the DC universe rather than just a focus on our two characters, Batman and Superman.
And the thing about Superman's death was just not well handled, I think. There's no tension, and why there's no tension is because Wonder Woman is actively kicking Doomsday's ass, she really is, and Batman is just, well, he can't do anything. And Superman is just helping out Lois Lane, which is this ridiculous side plot to get the spear. And then Superman goes, and he's gonna go freaking impale Doomsday with the spear, and then he also gets impaled. And it's Superman's death, and usually it should be like this crazy, whoa moment, but for me it was like, oh, he died, oh well. I just felt like there was no tension in the scene. And though the scene showed, struggle and Superman getting stabbed, and he's like, oh, nope, still gonna kill you. I felt like there was just no tension between these two characters. I think it was because these two characters aren't really just set up as instant rivals. I felt more like Superman was Batman's rival in this movie because it was always being set up to be like that. Just like Zod was Superman's rival in Man of Steel. Since he did die, it did give Batman a reason to show, like, oh, he actually sacrificed himself to save people. The thing was that there was no people to save because you never see these characters helping people. You never feel like Doomsday is an actual threat. He's just destroying stuff. He's like tearing down buildings like they're toys. But these buildings probably have people in them. You just never see them. You never see people in the street. And that's the thing. It's because you never feel like Earth is actually in danger at any point. Ever. Like, at all. Because people are like, oh my god, this thing is happening. And they're like looking through monitors and people are looking at the TV. They're like, oh shit. But you never feel like people are in danger. You never see these heroes saving people. You never see that. Ever. Except for Superman, like right at the beginning, like a little montage of him like stopping. No one cares. People want to see when an actual villain goes in and actively tries to kill these people. And you're like, no. The superhero is going to stop the villain from killing people because that's what the hero does. He preserves life. Unlike Batman, because Batman freaking kills everyone in this movie. And so, Doomsday, I felt, was just not this true opposition to Superman like Batman was. Batman felt more of an opposition. And it's awful because they really didn't really do much justice to the character of Doomsday, even though he's supposed to be this mindless beast. The tension and the amount of like intensity that the scene was supposed to have, and just kind of dramatic personal feeling like, I'm going to have to kill this thing because if I don't, people are going to die. Not only do you never see the people, but you just, the whole intensity and the personal feeling, the emotion of the scene that it should have, it's replaced with huge explosions and just mindless fighting. And even though Wonder Woman looks amazing in the fight, it's mindless. You see explosions emanating from Doomsday, and he's like, boom, boom, he's just blowing up because energy, I guess he gets power from energy, which is never explained. And then he blows up, and then it's like, huge explosion, and it's like, was that really necessary? Did you really have to do that? No, you didn't.
Superman's death. Ballsy move. Liked it. Wanted to see where they were going to go with it, but at the same time, I was really irritated because I realized they're making Justice League movies. They're not going to kill Superman, which means that this is just pointless, and they're trying to give us all this emotion of Lois Lane and Batman and Wonder Woman about avenging this guy, and we need to get the group together, but like, let's be honest, Superman's not going to die, guys. Really? And then, of course, right at the last moment, Coffin, like, dirt starts raising, and it's just like, what was the point? What was the point? Why couldn't you just have them come together, defeat him, and then have more political engagement at the end of the movie, saying, should we actually have these heroes? Because it seems like it's only creating more monsters, which would have caused more political thriller type of engagement, and that was exciting. That was the best part of the movie most of the time, is asking those questions. Why do we need these people? Do we need these people? Just want to thank Browntable one more time for allowing me to be in this video. You guys are awesome. And remember, keep finding new perspective.
Well, look at that, Mike. He has a much cooler outro than you.
Hey guys, thank you very much for watching. I do original content, reviews, a lot of those, and sometimes I make fan-made trailers for fun. That's complicated though. I'm going to make a video on that because I might move that to another channel. But thank you guys very much for watching. And yeah.